This week.
Omulabi wa University TV niyo program obulamu zaabu.
These are the patients. You can see this is doctor's room.
Era bano swali n'ekyo wait. Kimu kyakuna kubereka emmere leeta amaanyi.
Mweno program tugenda batukutuusaako abasawo abakugu ab'enjawulo.
Oxygen will then come from the bag to the patient.
Afuna kye bayita cardiac arrest or heart attack. Bakwayo obukerenda.
We can see the compartment for admiralios.
Abalwadde ba sukaali ne pressure tebali amasavu ga biso.
Ebyo byonna mweno program obulamu zaabu.
This week.
It's more important if we can work strategically to grow the game, which they have done well. They have worked very well with the Chinese embassy in growing the game of football. They have managed to establish a league.
We are very grateful to all the participating players, the various clubs, and all the managers who have supported the athletes.
The men's individual category was won by Thomas Keddy of Stroke Woodball Club with 97 points, while Sophie Namudu won the women's individual club with 66 points.
To win, it has been really patience. It has been God with us. And then I think it has been our persistence to do it.
Examination clearance at Ndeje University. Ndeje University entrepreneurship students go practical. President Museveni launches a traditional musical album. Members of Parliament pay a visit at Ndeje University. Creating diabetes awareness through sensitization. Welcome to Ndeje University TV. This is live at 8. My name is Anslem Ojaru with the news. Ndeje University students started their final examinations yesterday on 7th of November. However, some students are still stranded with a late clearance fee. Agnes has the full details.
On 7th November, Ndeje University students from both Kampala and Luwelo campus started their exams that will be pushing them to the closure of the semester. The exams are running for 2 weeks, the first week for practicals and second week for theories. Besides being time for exams, some students have not cleared up due to unavoidable circumstances, and this has left many unconcentrated.
Because of some money issues, as you also see the economy. They charge you if you have not like reached on their percent, like 80%, they charge you, of course.
Students who have already cleared with the accounts are ready and well equipped to sit their papers that will be starting on 14th November.
Everything is fine, my computer is set, and I have all materials including the CD, including the disk, which are always needed there in the computer lab.
However, those who have failed to clear in time have been charged 50,000 Ugandan shillings per month, and the more they delay to pay, the more the charge accumulates.
Because I have also cleared last, and that is 100,000, of course, as I've spent long without coming here.
We're having very many issues with clearing here at the accounts office. They charge us late clearance, late registration fees, and the economy is not well. They have now charged me 50,000 for late clearance.
As other students are struggling with the late clearance charges, some students have no idea about the late fee.
No, they didn't charge me extra money. And they didn't charge me extra money because I have cleared late. No, they didn't charge me.
Agnes Nabugwao, live at 8.
Thank you, Agnes. Entrepreneurship is a business course which involves practical lessons. On 5th of November, Ndeje University entrepreneurship students went practical at their main campus in Luero. This workshop was meant to impact students with business skills. Let's take a look. Ndeje University Entrepreneurship Students Workshop took place at main campus Luero on 5th November. The workshop aims at training students with practical skills, where students are trained long-term business skills using the available resources to earn a living at a lower cost. The workshop is organized by the university every year, where students are trained in different business ideas that they can use after school.
We want to, as we are teaching our students from the University of Ndeje, we always want to impact them to first of all benefit out of it before they even go out to start up businesses in the society. How much are they gaining out of it? That's why we say it is hands-on. It is not history of entrepreneurship. It is practical entrepreneurship. Now, we always want to encourage our younger students, the young entrepreneurs as you see them, to gain confidence. First of all, they gain confidence. We teach them how to risk take.
This year's theme is innovative skills for self-help and job creation. Since entrepreneurship is a business practical course, the students were taught how to make a gel, burger, juice, with which they can start off a small-scale business even after school.
This program, I love it because it's really enabling our students to really be empowered with the different skills. Because now, of course, earning money is for everybody if you want. You can earn money at any time you want.
At the workshop, the students were actively seen making gel, which they say is easy to make, and this can enable them to start off with a small capital. Reverend Latima Mwangzi, the youth chaplain, emphasizes the need for students to be reliable and use their God-given talents to be wealthy.
The rationale behind is we are looking at a student in a trend where people think that somebody must look out for handouts so as to be rich. People think or hope to thrive through donors, external donors, students getting out of campus saying, I wish I could get a Muzungu to support me. And we are saying that this trend must stop. Everybody must begin to see themselves as their own sponsors, looking for. God has made a deposit of many things, wealth through your skills into you. As you move around, you are a deposit of many, many things. So if you tap in those potentials, your talents, your skills, and utilize them, you can create wealth. There's nobody who can become rich thriving on handouts.
The students offering bachelors in information and secretariat studies express their happiness on the new business skill the entrepreneurship course unit has added, and say they are to put them to use to improve their standards of living.
Here we had a workshop for entrepreneurship to encourage us and create more skills at hand. This is going to help me, like what we have learned today. We have learned how to make shower gel. This is going to help me at home to make my own soap, my own shower gel, and even at my workplace. I have colleagues who would buy it from me, and this will generate income for me. And I also learned how to make some burgers. My son is always asking for burgers, so that will be a goal for me. So I would encourage more youths to do more handwork, because it is a direct job for you than struggling around looking for jobs. If you have an idea in making liquid soap, making shower gel, making chicken buns, making everything,
And I'm very glad because due to this innovation and creativity, we have been able to learn a lot of stuff. We have learned how to make shower soap. You guys know that out there soap is so expensive, but now for me from here, I will not suffer, I will not go to buy expensive soap. I'll have to put it into practice.
At the end of the entrepreneurship workshop, the students showcased their products, which was juice, burger, and hope to start off with their career.
And now we've come to the final product, and we've been passing the students through the process of making a burger, juice. You can see like how to make a cocktail juice with types. This is mango, this is beetroot. These are healthy food. We have pineapple juice. This is mango. This is passion fruit. And this is a mixture of both mango and beetroot. So after the whole process of learning and training, this is what the students have been able to present as final products. And I believe whoever's been in this workshop has gone with a skill.
According to the ingredients we have used, they are on a standard form. Now, if you take it on the market, the NBS or NBS, they can even allow you or they give you the top selling your things because whatever used here, they are recommended.
In Uganda today, students after school seek for white-collar jobs in and out of the country. Despite that, some still remain jobless, which has made different institutions to venture in entrepreneurial courses so as to fight the high-rocketing unemployment among the youths. Every year, the Faculty of Science and Computing organizes entrepreneurship workshops to impact students with practical skills and make them job creators to serve the nation. Anslem, Ojaru, live at 8. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has challenged Ugandans to put to use the great heritage that they possess and do away with the past trauma caused by the colonial events. The president said this during the traditional musical launch album on Sunday at State House, Entebbe. Let's have Grace with the details.
President Yoweri Museveni said the African-rich heritage, which is manifested in music, musical instruments, dances, oral literature, songs, cultures, and traditional ceremonies should be fully developed, documented, and preserved to enrich communications and benefit future generations.
Africa, stand up and be proud. We have everything from wealth creation to rich language to the strong culture of exogamy and strong patrilineal families and to beauty of skin and hair. We do not have to ape anybody. Tetulina kwenyoma.
The president, accompanied by the First Lady, made the remarks while launching Omufunga Is Over, a traditional music album on Sunday, 6th November 2022 at State House, Entebbe. His Excellency the President says the African population, currently at 1.3 billion, has within it the most ancient portions of the human race, 4.5 million years old, and 4 nations according to linguistic classifications. The 4 nations are the Niger-Congo, comprised of the Bantu, the Nilotic Saharan, the Nilotics, and Nile Hamites. He noted that within each branch there are clusters and subclusters with common words among groups that live thousands of miles apart. The Omufunga Is Over tradition music album, put together by the Heritage Foundation, comprises of 16 songs composed many years ago but had remained undeveloped due to the unsettled colonial times. Some songs, according to the president, were resurrected by a young woman by the name of Maga, who was the core of his music group and always stayed near him at the High Command Inner Compound in Ngoma, Nakaseke. He added that ever since the Bush days, he was recording these songs, and his librarians were drivers who would lose some of them along the way, but to their credit, especially one called Biaruhanga, many were kept.
And my librarians were my drivers of my car. who would lose some of them along the way, but to their credit, especially one called Biarhanga, many were kept. Recently, Natasha and her able aide Ataho managed to get from my drivers a total of about 119 tunes spanning the 2 centuries, from 1890s to the present. Music is excellent. This is music and not noise. I see some groups making noise, they call it music. But this is real music. It is the main music in my cars when I'm driving, plus some religious tunes and NRM songs. The content is excellent, dealing with contemporary social or political issues. The language is so rich. I used the songs to get vocabulary to enrich our katondos.
The head of Heritage Foundation, Mrs. Natasha Karugire, thanked the President and the First Lady for being at the forefront of promoting culture. She, however, noted that among Christians, there is and has always been some kind of aversion to the old sounds in the traditional music and poetry.
Growing up, my siblings and I always listened to the old songs that Mzee kept. We would be at the dining table with Mzee and Mama, and Mzee would often spontaneously break into singing, into song. And I'm going to try my best to. Eshmwandema vagoranshonga, mwandema vazasya rugamba, something like that. Mama, for her part, often told us traditional folk tales as young children and taught us the do's and don'ts of our culture.
On the other hand, President Museveni challenged Ugandans to use their rich cultural heritage and reject the pathetic phenomenon of self-hatred that the Africans, especially the women, developed on account of the inferiority complex created by the colonial trauma. He said many of the songs inform us of the element of beauty that is, for instance, appreciated by the Banyankore. The Bishop of North Ankole Diocese, Reverend Stephen Namanya, thanked President Museveni through his book Katondozi and the First Lady for promoting culture that Ugandans and Africa should be proud of. The ceremony was attended by, among others, the ministers, Frank Tumwebaze, Minister of Agriculture, Animals, Industry and Fishery, Alice Kaboyo from Luwero Triangle, the United Nations Resident Coordinator, Susan Namondo, members of Parliament and service chiefs. Grace Nabkenya, live at 8.
Thank you, Grace. As the world prepares to celebrate the World Diabetes Day on 14th of November, this year's celebrations are centered on sensitization and creating diabetes awareness among the local communities. Let's take a look. On 14th of November, the world will celebrate the World Diabetes Day under the theme Education to Protect. This year's celebration is aimed at creating awareness about the silent killer which is claiming lives. Dr. Herbert Nkabura, founder of Initiatives Against Non-Communicable Diseases, attributes the increasing diabetes cases to lifestyle and types of food people eat.
Lately, we have seen a drastic change in people, how they eat their food, their way of life. A lot of us, we want to go to fancy restaurants, cafe javas, we want to go and eat fried chicken. That's what we call good food. But literally, that is not good food. A lot of dietary changes that have happened over the years have contributed a lot to diabetes. So what am I trying to say? Is that we should get back and focus to healthy diet. Healthy diet is one of the ways through which we can prevent diabetes and many other non-communicable diseases like cancers and cardiovascular diseases. But also the other thing is lifestyle. Lifestyle to deal with physical activity. There is a lot of physical inactivity going on. You find somebody, they have an office, they are employed, they drive a car, they move from home in their car, they go to their workplace. From there, they go and sit in their air-conditioned office in a rolling chair for the whole day, and then from there they get back into the car, and that is basically the routine, day in, day out, for the whole month. So they are not doing any exercises. But also remember that they are ordering cafe javas, they are ordering KFC every time. So they are eating badly, they are not eating health food, but also they are living a sedentary lifestyle. So a combination of those factors will lead them to diabetes.
Diabetes is a chronic disease that occurs either when the pancreas does not produce enough insulin or when the body cannot effectively use the insulin it produces. And a person with diabetes may show signs such as slow healing sores, urinating often, among others.
It's a chronic disease. It's a non-communicable disease. And we usually call these type of diseases silent killers. Why silent killers? It is because that when you get these conditions, they take too long to manifest. You will have your high blood glucose levels, but it will take several years for you to notice that. So we usually do not want to wait for the symptoms or the signs, and that's why we encourage people to go for screening. But one of the signs or symptoms that we can see at later time is that people who have high blood glucose levels will tend to urinate every time and again, especially at night, more than frequently than the normal people. Then they tend to get very thirsty every time. They want to take a lot of water every time and again. The other thing is that diabetes affects the eyes. It's one of the leading causes of blindness. So these people, when they get diabetes, subsequently they tend to complain of not seeing clearly, what we term as blurred vision, and it is one of the leading causes of blindness. The other sign or symptom is that these people who get diabetes, the diabetes in them, the high glucose levels, tends to destroy the nervous system, the nerves, especially the nerves in the peripheries, in the extremities. And these people tend to complain of not feeling, numbness, paralysis. And most times, a diabetic person can even step into fire and they even do not know that they are burning. So those are some of the signs.
But with quick medical attention, diabetes can be controlled and handled, and a person with diabetes can live for a long time under medication.
And your glucose levels are way out of range. We aim at controlling them and bringing them back to normal, but we do not say that we have cured you of diabetes. We say that we have controlled you, and you can live happily a normal life when your diabetes has been controlled, when your sugar levels are under control. That does not mean that you're no longer a patient. You're a patient, but who has achieved good control of your blood glucose levels. Meaning your sugar levels are already high. We usually want to minimize the amount of carbohydrates and proteins and sugars in the diet that you're consuming. So the diabetic plate is the normal plate that you're having, but we divided it into two halves. So the half of a plate should be filled with vegetables. Vegetables because they are not going to raise your sugar levels, because you already have enough sugars in your blood. Then the other half of a plate, we divide it into two, meaning we are left with a quarter a plate. Then a quarter of a plate covers the carbohydrates, okay? The carbohydrates, because they are the ones that will be broken down and then they will raise your sugars. So we try to minimize to a quarter of the carbohydrates. Then the other quarter of a plate, those are the proteins.
Diabetes happens when your body can't take up sugar glucose into its cells to use as fuel. Some types of diabetes can be prevented by adopting a healthy lifestyle and having regular physical exercises. It is estimated that 537 million people are currently living with diabetes all over the world. Anslem, Ojaru, live at 8. On Friday, 4th of November, the parliamentary sports team paid a visit at Ndeje University main campus in Luwero as the university prepares to host the East African University Game come this December. Let's take a look.
While Ndeje University is preparing to host the East African University Games, which are due to take place in December at main campus Luwelo, the Parliamentary Sports Club on Friday 4th November 2022 visited the university on issues concerning sports, where the visitors participated in different friendly sports disciplines, among which are volleyball, football, basketball, netball, among others. The University Vice-Chancellor, Professor Elia Bulugujo, described the visit as a miracle, since it rarely happens in Uganda and Africa as well, for the Parliament to just pay a tour visit to home institutions.
This is a miracle to host members of Parliament, because some of them know New York, you know very much about London, but you don't know Ndeje University. That is the strangeness about African tourism. You tend to know more about distant places.
He further explained the untermed sports as not a mere running and sweating, but also nurturing individuals.
Sports is our need, and here sports is not running or sweating, not at all. There are many attributes of sports as well elucidated in the UNESCO Convention about sports. Sports creates or nurtures togetherness. It creates peace in the minds of men and women. It trains individuals to live together in diversity. You may be diverse, but there is a confluence in sports when you do sports. It also nurtures tolerance, because most of these games are contact games. So you learn how to say I'm sorry, which is not taught in the vocabulary. So these are the attributes we teach. And the idea is that our academic, we need to excel both in academics and sports, so that we turn out good citizens.
According to Member of Parliament, Luwelo District, Honorable Hassan Chirumira, he is happy for the university being chosen to host the East African University Games 2022.
We are welcoming so many universities from East Africa to our region, Ndeje Town Council. Now that means milestone for our communities, the business community, and of course the people around. We are privileged to be the host of these particular games this time around. To the people of Ndeje and the management, for us we are here to compete. We are here to compete and we have to win these games.
Reverend Canon Duncan Mugumya, on behalf of the State Minister of Education and Sports, Honorable Peter Ogwang, thanked Ndeje University for making the country proud by hitting the target of the Ministry of Education and Sports.
Ndeje University has done us great. Remember, as you reach in the office here, you'll see how many medals, how many trophies Ndeje University has brought for us. And this is not about Ndeje University. It is for us all as a country.
Besides sports, Ndeje is also constructing a medical infrastructure as a way of promoting science and sports. Sarah Chirabo, live at 8.
Thank you for watching Ndeje University TV. This was live at 8. My name is Anslem Ojaru. See you next time.
On a glorious journey to great academic heights, you need a university that will guarantee hopes of employment without sweltering in a pool of job hunts. I present to you Ndeje University. We are an Anglican university endowed with 3 state-of-the-art campuses in